Now, I want to show you guys something. Do you guys remember this video I made right here? And you remember these two videos right here? And if you've seen these videos, if not, I'm going to leave them below so you can go and watch them. You should be able to remember what I said about Anthony Joshua in these two videos and what I said about Rob Mccracken, what I said about his team, what I said about his weight, what I said about his training, and what he needs to do. Okay, I'm not going to go reiterate it. I'm not going to take clips from these videos and put it in this video. You just got to go watch it for yourself. Okay, but for those that heard this video, you know exactly what I said in this video. And the reason why I do stuff like this, I always love to use somebody who's either in the game, who's been a commentator in the game, or who's been an active body in the game, who's been an active boxer in the game, who has boxed before, or who's been around the sport for a very long time, to let you guys know when I open my mouth and I say these things, I don't say these things because these are things that I just think and they just fall out of my mouth. I say that because these are things that I know. This channel is backed up by empirical proof from day one. From day one, I've always said what I've said, and I've showed you and I explained to you why I said what I said, and I can prove and stand on everything that I say because I can show you the trail and the path to walk to see where I got. Okay? Now, with that being said, I want you to listen to what Antonio Tarver has to say about Anthony Joshua and his team. Listen closely.
Does he beat Joshua in the rematch?
He can beat Joshua in the rematch because if you saw that fight, you understood that the skills are right on the same level. You know, he didn't outclass, Anthony Joshua couldn't outclass Andy Ruiz. I don't think on fight night, and I don't think on any day. So what does that mean? That means Anthony Joshua is going to have to go to work. He's going to have to go to work and be deliberate about what he's training and how he's training and preparing. And he needs a teacher in his corner. He needs somebody to lay down that game plan, map out that game plan, break Ruiz down, and give him the best game plan to win. I know what that game plan is. I can institute that in Anthony Joshua, and I put my name on the short list. I'm not saying that his trainer failed him. I'm saying everybody failed him, his manager and promoter. Because if they were on Team AJ, they should have cared enough to pull his coat if he wasn't taking care of small details. That's what a trainer's responsibility is, to make sure the camp are paying attention to detail when it comes to the fighter. And I think that message gets lost in the whole scheme of things. You know, a trainer that has been there ain't going to get excited because they're going to New York and they're on pay-per-view. He's been there, he's done that. He's going to stay focused on the task at hand. And a lot of times these guys get their heads caught up in the clouds too, because they're going places they've never been. How are you going to know how to act? How are you going to know how to react if you're going somewhere you've never been? I've been to that mountaintop time and time again. It's familiar to me. That's the difference.
Did he look off too?
He looked like he didn't train, he didn't prepare.
How so? What
mentally and physically.
Yeah?
Completely. He wasn't ready to fight a real fight. Anybody could have beat him that night. He wasn't mentally ready, prepared for a real tough fight.
What gave you the indication of that? What did you see that we're not seeing?
246 pounds on the scale. If you had a real training camp and you 246 pounds, how much weight did you lose in training camp? Were you 265? There's a good chance he was. He was too bloated. All that water in his muscles. Come on, man. When that lactic acid get in there, he can't fight. And fatigue make cowards out of all of us. He didn't put the work in. He thought he could turn it on at any time and get Ruiz out of there. A big mistake. I made that mistake before against Eric Harding the first time. You know, you're human, but get back to the drawing board now. Don't make the same mistake twice. And if you do the same thing you did, expect the same results. It's time for change.
Now, for those that seen the video, is that or is that not almost exactly word for word what I said? I said the same thing about Rob Mccracken. The video's down there for you guys to go and listen to it. Matter of fact, I go prefer it because you would be shocked at how dead on this is. I told you about his weight. I told you I don't know how he can have a coach where he brings him into his most important career-defining fights overweight. And when Antonio Tarver just said about Anthony Joshua's weight, he articulated and put it in a way that I missed and I couldn't do it. But he's real. How in the hell, if you train, you come in that heavy? Anthony Joshua looked like he didn't train worth a lick. Everything shows that there was no training going on. You sparring 8 days out into the fight. You staying up at 3 in the morning watching tapes. That sounds like somebody who's trying to do their homework at the last minute before they got to turn it in to first hour. That's exactly what, once you go back, once you listen to what Antonio Tarver said, and once you go back and you assess all the stuff that you heard about Anthony Joshua and what he was doing up into the fight, it sounds and looks like the result of somebody who wasn't doing what they supposed to do, who tried to do it at the last minute. That's why when I heard him say this, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta put a video on this. Because people think I just say things, or there's some people who don't think I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in gyms. I always grew up around boxing. I always grew up around combat sports. I'm in the physical fitness arena. You know what I'm saying? I train athletes on a regular basis from all different kind of sports, from golf all the way up to fucking hockey, okay? I talk with these people. I know some of these people who know they managers. I know people who's in the game. I talk with enough people, and I've been around the sport long enough, and I assess the sport long enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I can always spot somebody who don't know what the hell they talking about. But in this case, Antonio Tarver is 100% correct. Anthony Joshua, you ain't trained for that. You know what I'm saying? And he made a good ass point. How the hell you train and still come in that heavy? The two don't add up. So yes, like I said in the last video, Anthony Joshua needs to fire Rob Mccracken, because anybody who lets you go into your most career-defining fights overweight like that, and somebody who don't know your fighting weight, you know what I'm saying? And most importantly, when Antonio Tarver said, nobody pulled him to the side and say, hey, tighten your shit up. That lets you know you got a team around you that is just there for the ride and the money. And once it stopped, they will be gone like a fart in the wind. That's straight up. Anthony Joshua needs to get his shit together. Now you can understand why Robert Joshua was going off the way he is. He know he's surrounded by a whole bunch of people who just look at him as a cash cow and everybody's smiling in his face. Anthony Joshua, if he's going to be in that position, this is my advice to him. Make a fair assessment who all the people who agree with what you're saying. If it's almost less than likely that anybody goes against you, you got a fake team around you. Because when you're that high up and everybody's kissing ass, everybody's laughing at your jokes, everybody's this. How many people are saying, bro, that was a shitty ass workout. You ain't all that, man. You ain't ready. I don't agree with that. Know all the people who ain't kissing your ass and keeping it real with you and bringing you down to earth. Cling tight to those like a fly to shit. You know, because those are the people who's not impressed by the numbers that you putting up, who's not fazed by the fame. They can tell you straight up, dog, you ain't doing good, you know? And I would say the same thing with your tight squad, that little 3 or 4 man crew that you've been running around with. If the people around you in business is not doing it, that little crew, him, the dude with the ponytail and all that other shit, that's their job if they don't even have a fucking job. Say, look, man, I'm your friend. I've been with you. I know you know boxing. I know I'm just here to support you. But I know when you're not ready and you getting beside yourself. If they're not around for anything, they should be around for that. So Anthony Joshua needs to change his training camp, his style of training, and what he's become accustomed to. And he needs to get back to what he was saying in the beginning. Stay hungry. If you stay hungry, you stay training. If you stay training, you stay learning, you stay gaining, you get more deadly. You know, you get more deadly. So, I mean, it is what it is. But what Antonio Tarver said just further proved and backed up what I said. You know, and Anthony Joshua needs to take that into consideration. And he also offered to train the guy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot better trainers out there for you, Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? And you have the money to make anybody want to work with you. It's time for you to be selfish and worry about your skill set. You don't owe these people nothing. They already made more money than that they would have made anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine the money that they would have made if they didn't run into you. So how can they be mad if you depart from them now? You put everybody in a better position around you. It's time for those people to put you back in the position that put them in the position that they're in. That's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Bruce Vane, I'm out.